Hey everyone, this is Prince Watercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Kirby's Dream Land 2. We have done everything that we have needed to do in the last 6 worlds. And now it's time to take on the final one. Dark Castle. We finally have all of our animal buddies together. We got 7 stages to take on in the final level. Let's go ahead and do this. And in this first one, we start out by walking across these breakaway platforms and taking care of any enemies that are in our path. Pretty simple so far. Let's be careful here. Did not mean to do that. And I might as well go ahead and get that pet brew because why not? And use that on that split chick there. Yes, that's actually the name of that enemy. Now for the second section, you just want to float all the way to the right. You want to do that as quickly as possible. As you move around, you'll have enemies coming at you from your backside, so you always want to watch your 6 at all times as this section scrolls automatically. Get in the door as soon as you can. You'll then take on the Fireball mini-boss. And once you beat him, that'll be the end of the stage. Very short, quick stage. And I'm going to take this power just because I can. Quick stage here. And I thought I would get the 1-up, but I did not. Oh well. Alright, it's time to take on Stage 2. What are we doing here? Well, we are taking a dive into the water here. Also, we can use Fireball underwater. I just now realized that during the practice run that you can actually use Fireball under the water. And once you get out of the water, you want to rush all the way to the right, stand under this platform so that last icicle doesn't hit you. And here you have a room full of abilities. All 7 abilities will be in this room. I may use this for an extra video, where I show off all the Animal Buddy ability combinations. That'd be pretty neat. And from here, we just avoid the spikes, and try to get around here. Now, if you go into this lower door, you'll be near these 1-ups, but you won't be able to get to them. We'll have to get to the other side of that room there if you want to get the 1-ups. I'm going to destroy this guy. Rick is in that bag. I'm not going to take him with me. Instead, I'm going to go into this room because that's the only way I'm going to get the 3 1-ups in here. And from here, you just want to get past all the icicles. And you'll soon come across another boss, the Spark mini-boss, the squid. And I can't believe I missed that. At least the room is a nice shade of green, though. I do kind of like this shade of green. Super Game Boy had it going on. And I thought he was going to throw the star at me. Instead, he's probably going to do the whole shock thing again. There, no. Now he's just toying with me with the RNG now. There we go. And now we can exit out of this area. And I thought I was gonna get... Oh, actually, I don't need the maximum tomato. I've got enough health already. And in here, stage 3... Ah, okay. We got this area where you're just running around, trying not to get hit, taking on all these caboos. There's a stone power-up guy. There's some Gordos. I believe we're pretty much at the end of this first section already. We just need to get all the enemies out of our way here. There we go. Now we have an auto-scrolling section. Thankfully, the path through here is pretty linear for the most part. Want to go to the middle here, send this guy into the spikes if you can, and from here you can either take the top or middle paths. So the top path is a little easier. And so much for that power-up. Oh well, we don't really need it to get through this section. From here you want to go to the bottom, because the stars can lead you to a trap if you're not fast enough. You also could have taken the top path if you wanted, but you'll eventually have to come to the middle path anyway. Now take the top path. Okay, the top path as well as that bottom path were all just dead ends you couldn't enter, I guess. But thankfully, that's a pretty linear maze for an auto-scrolling segment. And we now get to face Chili Willy here. I think that's his name, again. And we get the Axe power up from him if we so want it. We are now done with the left half of the castle. And I'm still at full health, so I'm actually doing better than I did in the practice run, where I got hit all of the time. Now, 1, 2, and 3 are on the left side of the castle. 4, 5, and 6 are on the right. You're going to notice some similarities when I enter number 4 here, because it's a mirror image of Section 1. Matter of fact, this whole stage, this whole stage is a mirror image of all of Stage 1. So if you know how to get through the first stage, you know how to get to the fourth one. Of course, you will be dealing with harder enemies. So you definitely want to keep that in mind when you take on the latter half of level 7. And we should be nearing the end now. There we are. Now here, float as quickly as possible to the left. Strangely enough, parts that are hard in the earlier level are harder here, while easy parts are harder. Don't have to deal with enemies coming at you from behind all the time, regardless of which direction you're facing. And now I got the Cutter Boss. But I can easily use his own weapon against him here. And I thought that would kill him. I thought wrong. Die. There we go. And I pressed it way too early there, but at least I do get a star. Next up is Stage 5, and it will be a mirror image of Stage 2. But you don't just drop straight down without consequences this time around. You do have to deal with Gardos and a lot of underwater enemies. Nothing that the air gun that we have underwater can't handle. And we have another ability room. It's just in reverse. And all of the enemies are in the same order. Go figure. Now we got this area again. Now we have even more Gardos to deal with. But they're easy to deal with. Just get rid of the blocks if you have the ability to inhale. And you can go in here. Now believe it or not, when you enter through the right side, the 1-ups will be on the left. You want to break the blocks that I just broke in this corner. Press down on that block there. And you want to float up here and get the 3 1-ups. But wait, there's more! When you enter through this area, you guessed it, the 1-ups will be on the other side here as well. So you get 3 more to pick up. Just follow the same strategies that I did. Break these blocks, press down on this block, float up here, and you're good to go. I'm also going to go ahead and show off the Animal Buddy room, because why not? I'm pretty sure no, we got Rick again. I was expecting to get Koo. Ah, well. But we got those 6 1-ups picked up. That can't be all bad. And this time around, instead of icicles and spike pits with breakable blocks, or breakaway blocks above them, you have no icicles, a ton of enemies, and breakaway blocks hiding spikes. They tried to make it a little more difficult, in case you got a bit too used to the levels layout of 1, 2, and 3. And now it's time for the stone enemy. Ow. Come on, give me 2 boulders. There we go. Not gonna need stone. Let's just get out of here. Come on, give... Oh, okay. I'm already at maximum health now. I was about to say, give me the maximum tomato, but then I realized I was at max health yet again. Now here we have a mirror image of Stage 3 and Stage 6. But you had the wind blowing you around this time. I guess if you came in here with Ku, you would be able to get everything. Including that pet brew and some of the stars that I missed. I'm surprised I got the 1-up. But yeah, you can just easily just float your way through here, let the air carry you, and then wait for all the Gordos to leave so that way you can enter this door. Now, the maze here is a little harder. I did not like this thing as a kid because there are actual dead ends. First off, you want to take the top path. Middle will lead you to a dead end. So, the bottom. Now you want to take the bottom here because top and middle lead to a dead end, as you can see in that corner. And from here, you can either take the top path or the middle path. Bottom leads to a dead end. And that guy nearly hit me. Now from here, you want to go straight to the bottom. Take the bottom path. Because the other two, you guessed it, are dead ends. And now you can go through this door. And take on the Needle mini-boss. He's much easier to fight without an ability. If he's not that close to the wall. And apparently you can't get the needle ability out of that. Oh well. He's also easier to hit when he runs into the wall himself instead of shooting his spikes at you. Then thankfully one more hit ought to do it for him. And then we'll never have to deal with him again. Oh, come on. Getting some lousy RNG here. Hit the wall for you know what? You're just gonna do the thing again, so I'm just gonna do that. Now let's see if we can't get 2 more extra lives. Well, I got 1. Couldn't get the one at the top. We're doing really well on lives right now. And now it's time for Stage 7. Before we do that, I want to show you guys something. Let's go back to 5-3. Yes, I've seen this already. And yeah, I had to reset to do the bonus stage things in every world, if you didn't already know. Anyway, up, down to 5-3 we go. Let's go into this door in the water because that will give us Kine. There's Kine. Now we need to head to room 5-5. Stage 5-5. Let's get the spark ability. And now that we got both of those things out of the way, let's go ahead and get in the warp star and head back to level 7. Now there's a reason I'm coming to this stage with Kine. And if I can actually pull it off and jump as soon as I start the stage because of those breakaway blocks, I can show you. Want to make sure I'm positioned carefully in that block in the middle there. And thankfully, I'm able to jump my way to the top without hitting any spikes. You can do it with Kirby too. Just make sure if you're playing as Kirby alone, you do have both of his feet on that block at the very bottom there. And then just keep jumping. Do not move with the control pad. Now, we have a dark room. And we have these guys too. there are things on the wall. They are symbols. They are ability symbols. Fire, stone, spike, ice, and cutter. Obviously, they're going to mean something. And it starts with this very room. Alright, we want to get the fireball enemy first. And from there, we want to break the ice blocks. I believe they'll be to the left. Alright, next up is stone. So let's swallow the little rock guy, break these with the stone ability, and enter this door right here. Next up is spike. If it makes it any easier, get rid of the cutter guy first, then swallow the spike guy. Let's break the rocks to the left and enter the door behind them. Ditch this. And get the ice ability. We pretty much know what to do there. Now all we need is cutter. Wait for this guy to stop throwing his weapon there. And there we go. And now we are finally in this door. There's a rainbow drop. You can get it just by jumping. And you also get a 1-up just for finding this one. So they make it more than worth your while to get the rainbow drop in this room. Now, take on some broom hatters, go into this door, and you immediately want to move to the side because you're going to take on the parasol boss. And he will get the drop on you as soon as you enter the door. Come on. Gonna do this without an ability. There we go. And we are now done with all of the regular stages. We have full health. We have about 66 lives to do this with. So, let's go ahead and enter this door. Really silent in here. There is a pet brew in case you do need a little bit of health. No maximum tomatoes in here though. Also, if you want to jump up here, you have to be Kirby and Kirby only. If you try to go up here with an animal buddy, the game won't let you do it. Also, Kirby makes a noise when he ducks. Anyway, let's go ahead and go into this door, and we'll take on King Dedede. For some strange reason, he appears to be sleepy, and his eyes are shut the whole time. He has a couple of his attacks from the first game, such as the ability to strike with a hammer and create a star that you can use to spit at him. He still has a tackle. He can still inhale you and spit you out for 1 point of damage. He still has a stomp. And thankfully, you can do a more powerful attack with following 2 things simultaneously and do 2 points of damage. But he can also throw his hammer and make several bombs out of the stars that he creates when it explodes. He can also spit projectiles at you. He can also create explosions with his hammer. And he can do all of that when he gets angry. After a while, he'll get unangry, and he'll go back to his normal moves. But he will get angry again eventually, and you'll want to be ready to move, because his attacks are supercharged at this point. They all have explosions. He's much faster, and it'll be harder to get the stars inhaled and spat back out at this guy. Thankfully, I've only taken 1 hit, and I've taken him down to just 2 bars of health. Well, he's angry now. All I need to do is just 1 more hit. And that was terrible. I wish he'd get unmad. Get unmad. Thank you. That wasn't exactly what I wanted, but... well, he now has collapse on the center of the rooftop here. And if you didn't have all the rainbow drops, your adventure ends here. And thankfully, we do have all of them, and we can use them to get the rainbow sword. Turns out there was a reason that Dark Matter, DDD was asleep the whole time. Dark Matter. I just accidentally spoiled the boss's name. Great. This guy has 2 forms. You will only be able to fight this guy if you have all the rainbow drops and you get the rainbow sword. When he shoots those projectiles, you want to hit them back at them with the sword. Hitting them with the sword won't be enough. You have to hit those projectiles at him to do more damage. He has a dash attack that, when he does it, he always drops towards you when he tries to return back to his side of the screen. He will keep changing what side of the screen he's on every so often. He can also shoot lasers out of his sword. Sometimes he can do that while stationary, other times he will do that while moving. If he does the laser shots while moving, you want to go to either the top or the bottom of the screen. If you're on the top of the screen, though, you better be ready for him in case he moves. I guess the same could be said if you were at the bottom of the screen. But at the very top or the very bottom, he can't hit you with the lasers. Just not as long as you're on above or below him. Like, straight up, above or below him. And sometimes he'll do one of his other attacks instead of throw the fireball. When he does that swing like that. And here's his second form. You want to get behind him just before he forms those little balls. And I am doing terrible here. And after those attacks, you want to get in the upper right-hand corner first, dodge the lasers, and then get on the upper left. He'll then do a dash attack on the top, middle, and bottom of the screen. I can't believe he did that. You definitely want to get behind him when he does these attacks before he can pull them off. So that way, you can keep hitting him with your sword and try to do more damage. And you want to get behind him while he's doing those fireballs too. You want to get behind him, turn around, go up, and then hit the fireballs into him to do the most damage. I was trying to do that on the first cycle of his attacks, but I wasn't able to do that. But at least I was able to show off all of his attacks and as well as how to dodge all of them. You also have a time limit against that guy. Eventually you will reach the bottom of the screen if you take too long, and if that happens, you will die. And if you die, you have to take on both the first and second forms of not King DDD, but Dark Matter on again. So that's probably the hardest battle in the game. I had to practice a lot just to do that. Only difference between this run and the practice runs was the fact that I wasn't talking, because it was a practice run. And once again, even while trying to explain that, I can't speak to save my life. But yeah, that's the end of Kirby's Dream Land 2. Really neat sequel. It's not as universally loved as it seems as the first game. And that's too bad because, well, this is a really good game. This is a really good sequel. Graphics are wonderful, especially if you're playing on Super Game Boy. Color really adds to the fun. Just like in the original game, you can see what you're doing. You can see what everything is supposed to be. Colors aren't too strong if you're playing on Super Game Boy. And the game sounds as great as ever. I like the fact that they added the Float Islands music to Ripplefield. And the music at the final level really sounds urgent. And if I knock down the knocked off the mic. I apologize. I had to scratch my neck there and I used the wrong hand. Play control. Plays just like the first game. You can actually get abilities now, like in Kirby's Adventure. Sadly, you can't dash or slide, but it is very responsive and the game does what you want it to sometimes when you need to. Flying controls in the final battle you do have to get used to, but eventually you do. And it just makes the final battle that much more awesome. And would I want to replay this game again? Yes, I would. I mean, I played this game off and on, and I finally beat it fully a couple years ago, something I could never do when I was a kid. Finally got all those rainbow drops and beat the final boss, and it was nuts to relearn the final boss again, but it was still worth it in the end. So, yeah, I guess you could pick this up once in a while and try to beat it again. It's definitely one of those games that, if I wanted to play it once a year, just to remind myself of what a decent or good game or great game is like, this could be one of those games. And if you just press A, you just go back to the title screen. And we have a 100% save file because I managed to beat all of the bonus chance stages and beat all of the regular stages and the bosses. Now if you select this save file again, you can either go back to playing your game or you can do option. You have a sound test, you can fight any bosses, you can do a boss rush, or you can do a bonus chance rush. And by pressing B, I'm able to just back out to here. Okay, and that's basically it for Kirby's Dream Land 2. Really fun game. I'm glad I showed that off, that whole game off, explained how to do everything. Really great game. Special thanks to Retro Macintosh for playing this game again. Or actually, he played it the first time. He hasn't replayed it. And actually ended up being on my games I wanted to play in case my recording situation got better, and well, here I am doing it just now, finally finishing this off, this time with everything done. And that's it. Hopefully I'll be back with another Let's Play. I will do one more video though, and that is the aforementioned Animal Buddy ability combo video that I said I would probably do. I'm thinking about doing that now. Pull a Slim Kirby and do that. So yeah, until then, this is Prince Watercress. Take care, stay safe, thanks for watching, and see you guys later!